This audio is brought to you by B, the parenting app.
Stubbornness. My child is very stubborn. How to deal with that? My child is misbehaving a lot. What to do? Stubbornness is a quality which everyone has. We use it as and when required. So when a child is stubborn, the child has his own views where he is stuck up strongly. It means they don't want to listen to others. They have their own criteria and they want to follow it. They are in an age where they want to try and explore what they feel is correct. Let's take an example of food. Food is where most of the parents feel problematic to handle their child. As a parent, we want them to eat healthy and nutritious food, whereas they want to eat junk food like pizza and pasta. One of the methods to deal with stubbornness is negotiation. We can negotiate with them. For example, you can tell them that if they want to eat junk food, they can have it once a week. And the rest of the days, they will have to follow your schedule. But then, let them decide which day they want. You don't dictate. Give them a liberty to select the day and kind of junk food they prefer. Let it be homemade preferably. Once in a while, you can take them to dine out as well. As a parent, we know all the pros and cons of the situation, but they don't. They learn by trial and error method, and they tend to get distracted as well. You can always have limited control over their choices if they are too distracted. But when it comes to academics, negotiation may not work always. Like, a child can come up with, "I don't want to study now. I will do this on my time." In such cases, we can't allow them because we know that time is running. So for this, we can help them create a timetable where they can create. You just stay around helping them to create. Again, timetable is not a sure-shot thing that will be followed thoroughly. It can be trial and error method. But at least they know the time bounds, they know the boundaries which will help them. The other important thing is stubbornness doesn't come alone. It brings misbehavior hand in hand. Now, when you know your child is stubborn and misbehaving, you don't deliberately put them into any awkward condition. Better not to make them feel socially awkward, like if there are guests around and you force your child to greet them. Because if they get into such a situation, they might make it a point that can be humiliating to you also by back answering, by disobeying, making a scene in front of the guest. As a mature adult, to avoid this, you can say, "There are guests around. If you feel like, just greet them and then leave it up to them. Don't make it as compulsion. Give them a liberty of choice." At the same time, keep saying that what would you like them to do? Up to a certain extent, this will give them a choice of thought process which will mellow them down and put them in a strata where they will be able to make their choices. Once it will be unhealthy, but at a later stage, they will learn from their mistakes and they would become a better person as compared to their stubborn behavior. When you talk about stubbornness, it also is a lot about ego. We all have ego, and with maturity, we learn how to deal with it or overcome it. With children, they don't have this filter. For them, it is always a question about the ego, and so they get stubborn at every point. They don't know how to control this behavior. At such times, when you start showing stubborn behavior in terms of commands or rules or instructions, they feel this is the way we can cope or deal with it. Irrespective of situation, never behave stubborn in front of them. Don't put your point in a stubborn manner. You can explain the reasons behind your instructions, which will help them understand the difference between appropriate and inappropriate behavior. Give them options. Of course, they can't keep doing things they like in their manner, but giving them multiple, variable options and showing possibilities of ways of doing things, it will solve a problem to a great extent. Giving multiple options and multiple variables, they do not feel stuck and feel the liberty of choosing their preferences, satisfying their ego also, so it becomes easier to work with them. For more insights, download Be the Parenting app. Thank you.